Do you ever feel like you're carrying around a heavy suitcase full of things you no longer need but just can't seem to put down? Maybe it's old hurts that sting when you think about them, worries that keep you up at night, or expectations that just don't fit your life anymore. As we journey into our late 60s and beyond, this can become a common feeling. Life has a way of piling things up, doesn't it? And sometimes, the things we're holding on to most tightly are actually holding us back from the happiness and peace we deserve in this beautiful stage of life. It can feel painful, like being tethered to the past or trapped by anxieties about the future. But there's a kind of secret, a gentle power that comes from learning to let go. It's not about forgetting the past or ignoring challenges. It's about consciously choosing not to let certain things weigh down your present. In this video, we're going to explore 4 specific things that many of us carry, and how releasing them after 65 can truly help you live a happier, more fulfilling, and yes, even potentially longer life. These aren't complicated tasks, but they require a willingness to look inward and make a conscious choice for your own well-being. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you about the impact of letting go. Let's start with perhaps the heaviest burden many of us carry, often without even realizing how much it's dragging us down: old hurts and resentments. Think about it. Is there something someone did years ago, maybe decades ago, that still makes your stomach clench a little when you remember it? A family disagreement that never fully healed, a friendship that ended badly, a professional slight that felt deeply unfair. We all have these moments in our history. It's part of life's tapestry. But when we hold on to the anger, the bitterness, the feeling of being wronged, it's like keeping a festering wound. It doesn't actually hurt the person who caused the pain anymore. They've likely moved on. Perhaps they've forgotten. Or maybe they never even knew the depth of the impact. The only person it truly harms is the one carrying it. It weighs on your mind, affects your mood, and can even impact your physical health. Chronic stress from holding on to resentment can raise your blood pressure, weaken your immune system, and contribute to anxiety and depression. Letting go of resentment isn't about saying what happened was okay. It's not about pardoning the other person or pretending it didn't hurt. It's about making a radical choice for your own freedom. It's deciding that you are no longer going to give that past event or that person free rent in your head and heart. It's choosing your peace over the justification of your anger. So, how do you even begin to do that when the feeling is so ingrained? It's a process. And it starts with acknowledging the pain. Allow yourself to feel it. But then ask yourself if holding on to it is serving you now. Journaling can be incredibly helpful here. Write down exactly what happened, how you felt, and how you feel now. Sometimes just getting it out on paper diminishes its power. Practicing forgiveness, even if it's just forgiving the situation or forgiving the feeling you have, is key. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It releases you from the prison of the past. Maybe it's starting with something small, like a minor annoyance from a neighbor years ago, before tackling the bigger, deeper hurts. Another way is to try to understand the other person's perspective, not to excuse them, but to see the situation more broadly. Often, people act out of their own pain, ignorance, or limited understanding. This doesn't make the hurt less real, but it can sometimes help depersonalize it a little. And, if the hurt is very deep, talking to a trusted friend, family member, or a therapist can provide the support and guidance you need to navigate those complex emotions. Remember, letting go of resentment frees up an enormous amount of energy and mental space that you can then use for joy, connection, and pursuing things that truly matter to you. Now, it's about choosing light over darkness in your own inner world. Letting go of old hurts is a powerful step towards lightening your load. But another thing that keeps us tied down, often frantically spinning our wheels, is the need to control everything and everyone around us. As we get older, We've accumulated a lifetime of experience and knowledge. We've raised families, built careers, navigated challenges. It's natural to want to use that wisdom, especially to protect those we care about. But there's a fine line between offering guidance and trying to micromanage the lives of adult children, grandchildren, or even friends. We see them making choices that we might think are wrong, or that worry us, and our instinct is to jump in, to fix it, to steer them in a different direction. While this comes from a place of love, it can often lead to frustration for us and resentment for them. Life is unpredictable. Things rarely go exactly according to plan, no matter how much we try to orchestrate them. Trying to control the uncontrollable, the economy, the weather, other people's decisions, global events, is a recipe for constant anxiety and disappointment. It's like trying to smooth out a raging ocean with a spoon. It's exhausting and ultimately futile. So, how do we ease this grip of control? It begins with recognizing what is truly within your sphere of influence and what is not. You can control your own actions, your reactions, your attitude, and how you choose to spend your time and energy. You cannot control other people's choices, how they feel, or the outcomes of situations involving external factors. When you feel that urge to step in and take over, pause. Ask yourself, is this truly my responsibility? Is this situation actually within my power to change? Am I trying to solve a problem for someone else that they need to learn to solve themselves? This doesn't mean you stop caring or stop offering support when asked, but it means stepping back and allowing others the dignity of their own journey, their own mistakes, and their own triumphs. For things like global events or uncertainties, practice mindfulness. Focus on the present moment. What is happening right now that you can appreciate or influence in a small way? Limit your exposure to constant news cycles if they fuel your anxiety. Channel your energy into things you can control, your daily routine, your hobbies, your physical activity, your social connections. Trust that you have the resilience to handle whatever comes your way, and that others in your life do too. Releasing the need to control everything is like opening your hand after clenching your fist for a long time. It's tiring to hold on so tightly. Let the air flow in. Let life unfold a little. It can be scary at first, but it is also incredibly liberating. It allows you to focus on living your own life fully, rather than expending precious energy trying to manipulate external circumstances or other people. Managing the desire to control is a lifelong practice, one that becomes even more important for our peace of mind as we navigate the later years. Now, speaking of things we hold on to that limit us, let's look at something that can really restrict our happiness and potential unrealistic expectations. This can show up in many ways, but two common ones are expecting yourself to be the same as you were when you were younger, and expecting others, especially adult children or grandchildren, to fit into a specific mold or fulfill certain roles you envision for them. Let's talk about the first one, expecting yourself to be young again. Our bodies change as we age. Our energy levels might shift. We might develop aches and pains we didn't have before, mentally, while we gain wisdom and perspective. The way we process information might change. Holding on to the expectation that you should still be able to do everything exactly as you did at 40 or 50 can lead to constant frustration and a feeling of failure. You might compare yourself negatively to your younger self, lamenting what you can no longer do rather than celebrating what you can do now. This unrealistic expectation prevents you from fully embracing and enjoying the stage of life you are in. It's like trying to wear shoes that are too small, uncomfortable, and ultimately limiting. So, how do you let go of this? It starts with acceptance, not resignation, but acceptance of the reality of aging. Your body is different, but it is still capable of amazing things. Focus on what you can do. Perhaps you can't run marathons anymore, but maybe you can enjoy long, brisk walks. Maybe you can't lift heavy weights, But you can practice gentle strength training or yoga. Find new ways to engage your mind and body that honor where you are now. Celebrate the wisdom, the experience, the perspective that only comes with age. Shift your focus from physical capabilities you might have lost to the richness of your inner life and relationships. It's about redefining what vitality and fulfillment mean in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. It's not less. It's just different. And in many ways, it can be even richer. Now, let's consider the second type of unrealistic expectation those we place on others, particularly our adult children. We spent decades raising them, guiding them, and perhaps envisioning their futures. As they grow into adults with their own lives, partners, and perspectives, it can be challenging when their choices don't align with what we hoped for them, or when they don't need us in the same way they used to. We might expect them to call more often, visit more frequently, raise their children exactly as we raised them, or live geographically closer. While these desires are born of love, holding on to rigid expectations can lead to disappointment and strain relationships. Our adult children are independent adults with their own lives to navigate. They are doing their best, often juggling many responsibilities. Expecting them to prioritize our needs and desires over their own lives and families is often unrealistic and unfair. Letting go of these specific expectations doesn't mean you stop hoping for closeness or stop being interested in their lives. It means shifting from expectation to appreciation. Appreciate the time you do have with them, however it looks. Appreciate the adults they have become. Even if their path is different from the one you imagined, communicate your feelings honestly and kindly, but be prepared to accept their reality. Focus on building a relationship based on mutual respect and understanding, rather than one built on fulfilling predefined roles. This release frees you from disappointment and them from feeling pressured. It allows for a more genuine, relaxed connection, letting go of unrealistic expectations, both for ourselves and for others. Create space for grace, acceptance, and contentment. It allows us to appreciate the present moment and the people in our lives for exactly who they are, imperfections and all, including ourselves. Next, we'll dive into something that often goes hand in hand with expectations and control, and that is the fear of change and new experiences. Embracing newness keeps life vibrant. We've talked about releasing burdens like past hurts, letting go of the exhausting need to control everything, and freeing ourselves from unrealistic expectations about ourselves and others. These are all about shedding weight, taking off the chains that hold us back. The fourth thing many of us need to consider letting go of after 65 is the fear of change and, consequently, the resistance to trying new things. It's understandable. As we get older, we often crave stability, comfort, and predictability. We've established routines, found what works for us, and there's a certain safety in the familiar. The world keeps changing at a rapid pace, and it can feel overwhelming. It's tempting to just retreat into what's known and avoid anything new. However, letting fear of change dictate your life can slowly shrink your world. It can lead to isolation, boredom, and a feeling of being stuck. The mind and spirit need stimulation to stay healthy and vibrant, just like the body. Trying new things, adapting to change, and stepping outside your comfort zone, even in small ways, keeps you engaged with life. It creates new neural pathways in the brain, which is excellent for cognitive health. It introduces you to new people, new ideas, and new possibilities. It reminds you that you are still capable, still learning, and that life still holds surprises. So, how do you let go of the fear and embrace the new start small? It doesn't have to be a huge leap. If you always take the same route for your walk, try a different street. If you always eat the same few meals, try a new recipe. If you only read one genre of books, pick up something completely different. If you've always been intimidated by technology, Sign up for a basic computer class or ask a grandchild to show you how to use a new app. Join a club or group that focuses on something you know nothing about. Could be birdwatching, painting, learning a language, or a local history group. The point isn't to become an expert overnight, but to open yourself up to the process of learning and discovering. Embrace the possibility of not being good at something right away. That's part of the learning process. It's okay to feel a little awkward or uncertain. That's a sign you're growing. Think about things you've always wanted to try but put off. Is there a place you wanted to visit? A skill you wanted to learn? A creative outlet you've always been curious about? This stage of life, when many of the intense demands of career and raising a family may have lessened, can be the perfect time to explore those dormant interests. Letting go of the fear of change also involves being adaptable. Things will change, whether we want them to or not. Technology evolves. Friends move or pass away. Health situations can shift. Family dynamics change. Resisting these changes, tooth and nail, only causes stress and suffering. Learning to adapt, to find new ways of doing things, to build new connections, to adjust your expectations. This is a skill that builds resilience and peace. It doesn't mean you can't mourn what was lost, but it means finding the strength to look forward and find joy in what is possible now. Remember, life isn't static. It's a flowing river. Trying to stand still in a flowing river means the water will eventually knock you over. Learning to flow with it, navigating the currents, sometimes paddling hard, sometimes drifting gently, is a much smoother and more rewarding journey. Embracing newness and being adaptable keeps the mind sharp, the spirit engaged, and your world from getting smaller. It allows for continued growth and discovery, ensuring that your later years are not just about winding down, but about continuing to live and learn. We've talked about letting go of the heavy baggage of past hurts and resentments, releasing the anxious grip of trying to control everything and everyone, freeing ourselves from the burden of unrealistic expectations for ourselves and others, and opening ourselves up by letting go of the fear of change and embracing new experiences. These 4 things: resentment, control, unrealistic expectations, and fear of change can truly hold us back from experiencing the full joy and peace that is available to us after 65. Imagine setting down that heavy suitcase we talked about at the beginning. Feel the lightness. That's what letting go can feel like. It's not about becoming carefree or ignoring challenges, but about intentionally choosing what you carry. You get to decide what is worth your energy and what is simply weighing you down unnecessarily. Think about the energy you expend replaying old arguments, worrying about things you can't change, feeling disappointed by unmet expectations, or avoiding opportunities because of fear. What if you could redirect just a fraction of that energy into something positive, into enjoying a quiet morning with a cup of tea, truly listening to a loved one, pursuing a hobby, or simply being present in the moment? That redirection of energy is the power of letting go. It's not always easy. Of course, some of these habits are deeply ingrained after a lifetime. It takes conscious effort and practice. Be patient and kind to yourself. There will be days when you slip back into old patterns. That's okay. Just notice it without judgment and gently guide yourself back to the path of letting go. Each small step, each conscious choice to release something that doesn't serve you, builds momentum. It builds resilience and strengthens your capacity for joy. And here's the surprising part I mentioned at the beginning. Letting go of these emotional and mental burdens doesn't just make you feel happier. It can actually contribute to living longer and healthier. Chronic stress, which is fueled by resentment, worry, disappointment from unmet expectations, and fear, has a significant negative impact on the body over time. It contributes to inflammation, weakens the immune system, and is linked to heart disease, stroke, and other age-related illnesses. By actively working to release these burdens, You are not only improving your mental and emotional well-being, but you are also making a profound investment in your physical health. You are lowering your stress hormones, calming your nervous system, and creating a more positive internal environment. Living with less resentment means less anger coursing through your veins. Living with less need for control means less constant anxiety. Living with fewer unrealistic expectations means less disappointment and frustration. Living with less fear means more engagement and vitality. It all adds up to a lighter load on your mind and your body, allowing you to navigate the years ahead with greater ease, resilience, and yes, potentially adding quality years to your life. It's a virtuous cycle. The happier and less burdened you feel, the healthier you are likely to be, which in turn allows you to continue living a fulfilling life and finding more things to be happy about. This stage of life is a precious gift. It's a time to reap the harvest of your years of hard work, to enjoy the relationships you've built, and to continue exploring who you are and who you want to be. Don't let the weight of unnecessary burdens dim the light of this time. Choose to live lightly. Choose to live freely. Choose to live happily. Think about which of these 4 things resonates most with you right now. Which one feels heaviest? Maybe start there. Pick one small step you can take today or this week to begin the process of letting go. It could be writing down a single resentment, practicing mindfulness for 5 minutes when you feel the urge to control, reframing one expectation you have, or trying one small new thing. Your future self will thank you for the effort you make today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Which of these 4 things do you find the most challenging to let go of? What strategies have you found helpful in releasing things that weigh you down? Please share your experiences in the comments below. Your insights could help someone else on their journey. If you found this video helpful and encouraging, please give it a thumbs up. It helps this message reach more people who might benefit from it. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel for more content aimed at helping you live your best life at every age. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, it's never too late to put down the heavy suitcase and walk forward feeling lighter, happier, and freer. Live your best life at every age.